How's it going today, guys? I haven't been able to get out and go fishing lately, so I'm going to do one of these quick one-on-one videos just talking to you about fishing. Expect some fishing videos coming out like next week or sometime, but today I'm going to be telling you guys all you need to know about the moon and how it affects fishing. Okay, a lot of you might not know this. This is really good for any beginner or experienced angler, but the moon is a very crucial point when planning your trip and becoming successful. So what you want to do is look for the moon phases, and it's pretty common sense about how it affects fishing, but so let's get straight into it. So first, we're going to start with the full moon and a new moon. So a full moon and a new moon are two of the best times to get out there and go fishing. One, because the tide is the strongest, and when that tide change is happening, the fish are all fired up. So a lot of people think, oh, full moon, I can't go fish during the day. That's not true at all. A lot of times day fishing gets a lot better in the day leading up to the full moon, and on the back half of that full moon, that's when the day fishing is the best. But when it's this dead full moon, it's the worst time to get out there and go fishing in the day. So that time you want to fish at night. And also on a full moon, you want to be able to go fishing at night. From the beginning to the end of the full moon, it's all great nighttime fishing. A lot of times that's when you get a lot of big snapper, pelagics, grouper, pretty much anything that's going to bite on that full moon. And especially one thing you want to look for is the tide change on the full moon. Whether you're fishing before the full moon in the day or after the full moon in the day or at night during the full moon, you really want to look for that tide change. Once you see that tide change starting to turn, that's going to be the best time to get out there and go fishing. Because why? Because the tide is coming in and it's about to go out, or vice versa. And everything is just getting fired up. They're all getting turned on. So you have the tide coming in and you're probably not catching anything. But what I like to do, I like to start fishing right before the tide change, maybe 20 minutes or so. That might be the time you might want to cast net bait, you might want a sabiki bait, or you might want to run out to your spot if you're going offshore. So when that's happening, you're going to want to start getting all your stuff ready, and then once a few minutes before that tide change, you might not get nothing until this tide starts to change, and then that whole tide change, you're going to be on fire. You're going to be catching fish left and right. So you really want to look for those tide changes. It's the most important part. I know a lot of people say, oh, low tide is the best time to fish, or most of the time people say, oh, when the tide is coming in, it's the best. Chances are is that they're wrong, because the best time is when the tide is changing, because that is when fish are getting all hungry, they're willing to feed because that current is changing, and really it just triggers them something natural to want to feed. So now let's talk about a new moon. A new moon, yeah. So a new moon, you want to look for fishing in the daytime. Nighttime fishing is terrible. Forget nighttime fishing. Throw it out the window. Don't even think about it. Okay? So during a new moon, you want to be fishing in the day. That daytime bite is going to be hot, and you're still going to have a really strong tide. So you're going to want to look for that tide change. I know a lot of people say, oh, fish bite better in the morning, afternoon. That's true. A lot of times I will notice if I can get a tide change in the morning or in the evening before the sun goes down, that is probably the best time to fish. Literally the best time, hands down, best time to fish. But if that's not the case and a tide change in the middle of the day, that's probably on that day going to be the best time to fish. You really want to look for these tide changes. I know when you're targeting pelagics, a lot of times what will happen is that they'll come up to the surface in the morning and the afternoon because there's more oxygen on the surface. So the fish will come and feed on the surface and they'll go down. But when you have a tide change, they still come up to the surface too. So the best times to fish are tide changes, and tide changes are really strong. The biggest difference at new and full moons. Okay, neap tides, which is the smallest changes, happens during, I guess you could say, a half moon, or like the first quarter or the last quarter. So those are like the worst times to fish a tide change. Even on those times, tide changes are still the best. Those days, I would recommend getting out there early and start fishing, or getting out there late in the afternoon and fish until it gets dark. Those times I would say is the best. Now, nighttime fishing is okay during the first and last quarter, but it's not the best. If you want to do nighttime fishing, save it for a full moon. If you want to do daytime, do any day but the full moon. Other than that, daytime fishing is great. And the reason the full moon has such great nighttime fishing is because the water is all lit up and the fish can see now. It's almost like daytime, even though it's not quite like daytime. So fish are going to be feeding at night, and they're not going to want to feed during the day because they're going to be all full. So, and during a new moon, same principle applies. The fish aren't going to be seeing anything at night, so they're not going to be feeding. So then now they're going to be hungry in the day, and if you can get a tide change first thing in the morning, on a new moon, that is probably the best time of the day fish, because that is going to be on fire and you're really going to want to take advantage of that. So just to recap, full moon, daytime before and after. On the dead full moon, nighttime only. And nighttime is good anytime during a full moon. During the first and last quarter, really daytime I would say is the best time. Look for tide changes, even though I would probably recommend more focusing on getting out there early and starting your day early rather than waiting for a tide change. And then new moon, focus on that tide change. It's going to be a great idea to get out there early. If there's a tide change in the middle of the day, likely the whole day is going to be hot. You get out there in the morning, it's hot bite first thing in the morning, it's a hot bite in the afternoon, and it's a hot bite in the back half of the day. So pay attention to the tides. The full moon and the new moon and all the different moon phases affect the tides. And that is one of the biggest reasons why it affects fishing, and also because of the moonlight. The moonlight helps fish see, which is very crucial to fishing. So thanks for watching this video, guys. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and make sure to destroy the like button for this video. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week on a video of actually fishing. Have a nice day, guys.